What's going on, guys? Back again today with another video. This video is going to be on plosives and how to tame or get rid of them. And the video I'm going to be using to demonstrate how to get rid of them is a video that just came out recently from Sphere Hunter. I was listening to this video, there were multiple points throughout it where it just kept catching my ear, and it's only, I think, in this first part, Sphere's using a handheld mic, and then towards the end of the video. But here it's particularly egregious, and it's for reasons I'll get into as far as, what can be done. Now, this is by no means just kind of like the Unrested video. This isn't like a, hey, this is how to do audio better than these two YouTubers, because both of them have been doing it for way longer than I have. They probably know this well enough, and they probably just didn't give a shit. And at least in Sphere's case, that's probably the case, because let's be honest, other priorities, right? Like releasing videos that people will watch. So if you're gonna do this the right way, what I'd recommend is getting one of these. It's a pop filter. You know what this is. It'll set you back about 15 or 20 bucks. If you're not gonna get a pop filter, at least get a clown nose. That might be $5 or $10. But let's just say you want to be even cheaper. You want to go one step beyond. Just turn the mic off axis, and if you see I say probably right there. By turning the mic off axis, you can get rid of that plosive problem. Now there is like the other trade-off, which might be like less of a signal to noise ratio, you might get more room noise, blah blah blah, but we're not worried about that. What we're worried about is this plosives and getting rid of them. So if you're trying to get rid of plosives, that's the single easiest way right there. But if we're going that, let's talk about doing things in post with Reaper. So, speaking of, doing things in post with Reaper. And by Reaper, I mean DaVinci Resolve. So let's go ahead and just take a couple listens to some of the audio. Now, unfortunately, because I've already started working on this, did some kind of Martha?
Why did you say that name?
Some Martha Stewart-esque bull. I've got to mute what I've worked on so far and just play a couple of the problem spots. And luckily, since I've timelined it, you'll be able to see it pretty clearly, and you'll be able to hear exactly what I'm talking about.
I know. Disgusting. I would go out in public and...
So that public, right?
No, out in public.
Keep that in mind. Public. There's a couple of different ones. And these aren't all the same type of plosive either. They're not all harsh P's, And that gets into other territory where you can do a set it and forget it setting for the entire thing. But I'll show you what that does. It's not great. It's probably not something you want to use. Instead, what I've done in this case, I've elected to kind of go through surgically and just anytime they crop up, adjust them on the fly or as they appear versus going in with just a single setting and then nuking the entire thing. Because mind you, I'm not working with a multi-track. I don't have accessibility to the original raw audio of, say, like Sphere's mic versus the background music versus the in-game footage. It's like I don't have the ability to just go in and adjust that one setting. If I did, it'd be a lot easier, but I still probably wouldn't even want to. But here, another example.
Most importantly,
another pretty bad plosive.
it would be
Oh, that's a weird one. It would be
easy.
It's like, that's a strange one. What is this? It's a lip smack. Okay, that's not a big deal. I'm not even worried about that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about plosives. I don't care about the lip smack. That can stay.
Popular
Oh, there you go. There's a good one. Popular.
sequel or popular.
Okay, so let's see here. Is there anything else? I know there's a couple another one.
And specific at
Oop. It's another specific. Okay, so you get the point. There's a couple of points of this already where I've started adjusting them. I don't remember what I did, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull them up. And I can A-B loop some of these. And I'll choose a slightly larger section, because if you're not used to looping can be really annoying if you don't do it regularly. If you mess with audio at all, you're going to have to do this. It's the nature of the beast. But anyway, I'll play the fix. I'll show you what it is.
Go out in public.
See?
Go out in public.
So yeah, that sounds natural. And all that is, if I get way into this, give me a second
Public.
here. And effects, you come over here. So all that is that problem spot cut, like cut on either side of it. And then I dropped in ReaEQ, which is an equalizer that's part of Reaper's package called RePlugs, which is free. So I'd recommend getting that if you want to use that and just use that. I might just see if I can find another example, because since this one's already dialed in. But basically what I did was I cut on either side of it. I loaded up a filter. In this case, I ended up coming down here. I think low shelf is maybe the default. Selected high pass, dragged the gain over until I got it. Not gain, sorry. Frequency over until I got it in a good enough spot to where it was gone, and then went from there. So now you end up with
In public.
versus.
Out in public.
It's pretty good. So let's find another one. And the settings for these are going to be different on each of them because it's to taste. Like it's like listening to it and then trying to figure out what sounds best. So let's do the original.
Most important.
Oh, that one's pretty bad.
Most important.
Yeah. See.
Most importantly. Most important.
And that's still there. Like that's still audible, but it's not distracting. Which one's this one? I may just play through some of this too, just to try to find an example of one that I didn't find already.
It would be.
So that's the original.
It would be.
So you could still kind of hear it on there, but it's greatly reduced. So let's see.
It would be.
Important thing is to make sure the important thing is to make sure you actually have the audio selected properly. So yeah, high pass filter, bandwidth being about the same, and then frequency is different. I think on the other one it might have been like 180 something. I can't remember.
Way more popular. Way more popular. Equal. Way more popular.
So you can kind of hear it there as far as why you wouldn't want to go through and do the entire thing, because you start losing voice data the more of a cut you have in the lower frequencies, especially if the person that you're editing the audio of has sound or they have signal in those lower frequencies. Like my voice, for example, has it in lower frequencies, I think lower than 85 hertz on occasion, just depending on what mic I'm using and what my position is, blah, blah, blah.
Way more popular sequel.
So I think that's the original, yeah?
Way more popular sequel.
Yeah. Let me find an area that I didn't put anything on, just to kind of demonstrate the point of why you don't want to probably just do one over the entire setting. ReaEQ. So let me show you why you don't want to apply this to the entire thing.
Equal. Yes. Obviously, those things are true. Megacorps exist to make money, and if they can take any course of action to sell you a $70 to $80 game, they will. We can discuss the ethics
Now, obviously, that's like harsh, but you know, you can see
of that some other time. When it comes to the art of the game, I think when handed those guidelines, Bloober's new design, to me, feels deliberately expressed to make you feel
pull too much information out of that lower end. Now suddenly you've got a telephonic voice, and you're pulling, like, in this case is backing music. You're pulling bass out of the backing track too. So you're fucking up the entire thing by doing this. So you might just want, if you don't have the entire signal, or you don't have access to the raw files, you might just want to go in and, again, surgically find those problem areas and then just work on those individually. I would encourage, if you have the time, and obviously this is all time specific, like if you're on a deadline, I don't know. There's probably a much faster way to do this. You could probably even use, I'm imagining there's probably an AI tool by now. Ozone, if you probably shell out the money for a copy of it, Ozone probably has a good filter for it, but foregoing that, this is an affordable way to do it. Replugs is free, obviously, and then Resolve is completely free. Now, Reaper, if you want to buy it, is a license, so I think it's like $50 or something, and then that's it. So if you want to buy Reaper, Reaper's $50, but other than that, Reaper is also free. I just wanted to see if there's any other plosives. If there's not, I think you get the picture. Point is, if you're going to work on your own stuff, you may want to look for these as like problem areas, and then if you do want to fix them, these fixes work. Obviously, if you don't have a pop filter, you don't have a clown nose, you don't have a way of being able to do it like with hardware, or at the time of recording, then you're going to have to do something in post. You're either going to have to use Ozone, or you're going to have to use something like ReaEQ or DaVinci Resolve to go in and kind of gussy things up, because otherwise you're going to end up with some more problem areas like
was swept up in.
And again, this wasn't just to pick on this particular video. I've seen this with a lot of other videos. It just so happens that this is the one I just saw recently, and I was like, oh, that's a good reason or an excuse to actually do another audio video, because I haven't done one of these since last year. And it really has been. And that's usually what the case ends up being. I see somebody's video, I notice something that irks me just enough. It gets me just irritated enough to try to turn it into something. So in this case, you ended up with a video on how to tame plosives. Now, there's going to probably be better tutorials out there. Again, if you're looking for paid options, yeah, I'd look into something like Ozone. I would look into what plugin chains you can get. But this is just dirt easy, super affordable, super free. If this helps, leave a like, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Maybe before next year, but we'll see.